Kids these days. You gotta love them. They're always getting into trouble, saying things they shouldn't say, promoting genocide, the usual stuff. Wait, what? Actually, that's sadly true. According to a new Harvard-Harris poll, shows Americans between the ages of 18 and 24, so college-age students, they get the warm fuzzies over terrorists. About 48% of them say that they support Hamas over Israel. Not Palestine. They're not saying, I tend to support the Palestinian cause in the situation. No, they're saying I support Hamas specifically over Israel in this poll. And it gets even worse because about 62% of them, again, we're talking about the ages 18 to 24, they say the attacks against the Jews in Israel were justified. So if my math's correct here, that means roughly 1 in 10 at minimum say the attacks were justifiable genocides. Justifiable genocides. That is just insane. I can't even begin to wrap my mind around that, but yet that's what the data is bearing out here. Keep in mind, by the way, these are the same people in the same age range that are always calling Trump and Republicans literally Hitler. So it kind of begs the question, do they mean that as an insult or is it kind of a compliment? It's kind of hard to tell, kind of scary. And we know there's probably a good shot that it's more than 1 in 10, just based on the vast numbers of college students that are protesting for Hamas on college campuses. And I think that's where the real issue begins to appear. It's these college campuses, because these things are not just arriving in the vacuum. I don't think that kids between the ages of 18 and 24 just naturally, out of their heart, spring up with the idea, I think I like justifiable genocide, whatever that means, and that they like terrorists. These ideas have to come from somewhere, and it appears that college campuses, sadly, are the originator of much of these ideas. I mean, it makes sense from some of the things that we've been seeing from college professors. One Cornell University professor, as reported by Politico, called the Hamas attacks exhilarating and energizing. I guess that's one way to describe it, from a really warped, terrifying perspective, but that's what he said. He was eventually put on administrative leave, or he, I think, left by his own accord, but either way, he's no longer there. But that's just one of the few examples of people actually facing consequences for what they're saying about this situation in Israel, in outwardly promoting terrorism. For the vast majority of college campuses, they've said absolutely nothing. They're kind of sloughing off this whole thing, or they're just saying, hey, it's free speech on college campuses. I'd be tempted to believe them that they're just promoting free speech, saying, no matter how terrible the idea is, it's a college campus, it's about the free flow of ideas. The only problem there is that we know that they're not consistent about this. These same colleges and universities, they're the same ones that ban conservative speakers like Ben Shapiro. He comes on campus and wants to talk about low tax rates and traditional morality, but that's just too controversial for the tender and young ears of our college students. But, the idea of destroying the entire state of Israel and murdering 7 million Jews, that's just the standard free flow of ideas, if you catch my drift. Well, all I can say about that is the ideas are certainly flowing on college campuses, and the consequences are coming home to roost. Until next time, I'm Samuel Case, and this is Case in Point.